Good morning. Today we are going to revise unit number 1, stepper motor. Okay, so what is a stepper motor? It is a brushless DC motor and whose rotor rotates through a particular angle, and this rotation can be controlled from the input current or the pulses given to the stator. Okay, so it is then there are three types of a stepper motor, that is variable reluctance stepper motor, permanent magnet and hybrid stepper motor. The first figure shows variable reluctance stepper motor. Okay, so it has stator. The stator has two phases, that is A phase and B phase. Each phase has two poles. A dash, it represents two poles, and B dash represents north pole and south pole. So totally it has four poles and two phases. Okay, so the rotor doesn't have any windings in all the types of stepper motor. So in variable reluctance stepper motor, its rotor has soft iron core material. Okay, so then next comes a permanent magnet stepper motor. So permanent magnet stepper motor has the stator construction similar to VR, that is variable reluctance stepper motor, but the rotor is permanent magnet material. Okay, then next one is a hybrid stepper motor. So the hybrid stepper motor, here it has both the features of VR and permanent magnet stepper motor. The permanent magnet material, it locates in the axis of the rotor, and at both the side of the axis, that is the two sides, is covered by ferromagnetic material, that is south rotor cup and north rotor cup. These two represents ferromagnetic material, and stator is of stack type stator, but the construction is similar. Okay, so this is a practical stepper motor available in market. Okay, so this is a hybrid stepper motor type. Okay, from the rotor itself you can understand it is a hybrid stepper motor type. The next is a basic definitions of stepper motor. First one is a step angle, that is the angle through which the stepper motor shaft rotates for each command pulse. We are giving pulses to the stator. So for a pulse, one pulse, how many angle it rotates, so that is calculated as a step angle. It is equal to beta. It is denoted in beta, and it is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns into nr into 360 degree. And resolution, number of steps to complete one revolution of the rotor, that is to complete one 360 degree rotation, how many steps are needed, that is calculated in resolution. So that includes the step angle also, because the step angle denotes the number of steps for one pulse. So resolution is equal to 360 divided by beta. And stepping rate, number of steps per second. For a second, how many steps are calculated, that is given as stepping rate. It is otherwise called as stepping frequency. The next one is holding position. When you give energies to the energy, or when you give excitation to the stator winding, at one point the rotor takes rest. That position is called hold position. And return position is when you are not giving excitation to the stator, the rotor takes rest. That position is called return position. And stepping error is the difference between the step angle calculated and the the practical step angle. Theoretical step angles you will calculate from this formula, and practical step angles is the rotor rotates when you give the stator pulses. Okay, so there will be a difference between these two. This difference occurs because the property of the magnetic material changes. So when you take a different magnetic material, its property changes. The time the step angle also differs, and Next one is a motor speed. Motor speed is denoted in N and it is calculated from the formula beta into F divided by 360. So this F represents stepping frequency, that is frequency of the input pulses. So since this frequency is directly proportional to motor speed, when you increase the frequency, your motor speed increases. And also one more term, that is slewing. Slewing means motor operates at high speed. Okay, that is when you increase the frequency more and more, your speed increases. So at a very high speed, the motor is said to be running in slewing. Okay, then this is we are going to see the types of excitation of stepper motor. What are the types means full step operation, or one phase on, two phase on, half stepping and micro stepping. Okay, we'll see one by one. First one is one phase on or full step operation. That is, here I have taken a machine. It has 3 phases in stator. So it has how many poles? 6 poles. Okay, for one phase 2 poles. So for 3 phases 6 poles. So 6 pole, and rotor has 4 teeth. So calculate beta from this formula. What will you get? Beta is equal to ns minus nr divided by ns minus ns into nr. So ns is number of stator poles, nr is number of rotor teeth. So you will get 30. Okay, so your beta is equal to 30. So for each step angle, your rotor rotates through 30 degree. Sorry, for each pulses, your rotor rotates by 30 degree. So one phase on means you will give excitation to only one phase at a time. Okay, so only A only, B only, C only. It represents one phase is excited at a time. Okay, so at 0 degree, the rotor position is like this, 1 and 3. Okay, so when you give excitation afterwards, that is when you give excitation to B phase. So what is the working principle of variable reluctance motor? The rotor aligns in the minimum reluctance path. So when you get minimum reluctance path, if you energize or give energy to the stator winding, so that path only will have low reluctance path. This path only will have minimum reluctance and maximum fluxes. Okay, so this iron piece will be attracted to the maximum flux area. So the rotor position changes through 30 degree. Okay, so the rotor teeth aligns, that is the teeth 2 and 4 aligns towards B phase, and next you will give excitation to C phase. So when you give excitation to the C phase, this C phase path only have minimum reluctance, that is maximum fluxes. So the iron piece, that is the rotor, gets aligned towards the C phase. Okay, so this is a circuit diagram which represents the excitation path. Okay, so this is a truth table. So when you write excitation mode, you should have this diagram and circuit diagram and also the truth table corresponding to it. Okay, so only A phase is excited at the time both the phases are at 0 level. So will not give any excitation, 0, and the step angle is 0. So next B phase is excited, step angle is 30 degree. Next C phase is rotated. You'll add the step angle 1 by at each step. Okay, 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus. So you'll get 0, 30, 60, 90 respectively. So next, 2 phase on. 2 phase on means at a time you will give excitation to 2 phases. So first AB winding only. So you will give excitation to A and B phases. So at which position the rotor comes to rest, or at which position the rotor tilt, means at the mid of the A phase and B phase. Okay, both the phases have minimum reluctance, so it will comes to rest at the middle of the 2 phases. Okay, so I'll get the step angle as 15 degree. 30 divided by 2 is 50 degree. That is the arithmetic value of first 2 values divided by 2. That is mean value. Arithmetic mean of first two values, that is 0 plus 30 divided by 2 is 15 degree. That will be the first step angle. And next 30 plus 60 is 90 divided by 2 is 45 degree. That will be the second step angle. Okay. The next half stepping. Half stepping means we will give excitation by mixing the two excitation, that is one phase and two phase. Okay. So first excitation will be one phase and second excitation will be two phase on. One phase on first step and at the second step two phase on. So you will get the truth table as 0, 15, again 30, 45. Okay, so 0, 15, 30, 45. The next comes the open loop control of stepper motor. That is this here we will have stepper motor. Okay. So we have to excite only one phase at a time. So we have to generate the logical sequence for our stepper motor. Okay, which phase has to be excited. So we have to generate in the form of logical sequence. So we need logical sequencer. So the input for this generator is step input and direction input. Direction input means backward or forward. Okay. So if you excite the phases in the sequence A, B, C means it will give forward direction. C, B, A means it will give backward direction. So that sequence represented in direction input. And the next, power driver circuit. This power driver circuit, what is the function of this power driver circuit means? It will increase the low, or it will upgrade the low level signal to high level signal. Okay. So these driver circuits are power semiconductor switching circuit. So it consists of only semiconductor switches, and it will upgrade the low level signal to high level signal that is required for the stepper motor operation. Okay. The next is current and voltage limiting circuit. This is a suppression circuit. Okay. So what is the purpose means? It ensures the rapid decay of current in the phase winding of stepper motor, that is stand off. That means when you turn off a particular phases in a stepper motor, the current has to be decayed at a fast level in that phase winding, so that we can reduce the short circuiting. Okay. So if you want to turn off the phase B, this current limiter will decay the current in the phase B at faster rate. Okay. So that is the purpose of current limit and voltage limit circuit. So these are the power supplying units for logic sequencer and our power driver circuits. Okay. Then this is a driver circuit. There are numerous driver circuits are available in your book. So I have described only one type here. This is a first type, that is basic unipolar drive circuit. Okay, it is a Darlington pair circuit. What is the objective of this driver circuit? It has to upgrade the low level signal to high level signal. That is, it has to amplify the signal. Okay, so this amplification is done by using Darlington pair. Okay, what is this Darlington pair does? It multiplies by using the current gain. It has the current gain double the time current gain of the normal amplifier. So it will increase the current which is giving as an input. It will increase the current gain of the input, and it is given to the phase winding. Okay, that excitation is necessary. That level of excitation is necessary to excite the particular phase. And next one is current suppression circuit. Current suppression circuit I have described here as active suppression circuit. There are many types of current suppression circuits available. One is diode suppression, diode resistance suppression, diode Zener diode resistance suppression, and active suppression. And last one is contention suppressor. So here I have described active suppression. So what will this do means, in the circuit energy stored in the motor winding is returned to the supply instead of dissipating it. That is, the current circulation circuit, it dissipate the phase winding. If we switch off this phase winding, or if you remove the excitation of this phase winding, its current has to be decreased. So when you decrease this current, this energy will be dissipated. But in the active suppression, we will use this energy, or we will get back this energy to the source. Okay, so how means, the transistor, when the transistor Q and Q2 are turned off, then the current in the phase 1 will charges the C, the capacitor, via D1 and D2. That is, see, at normal condition Q1 and Q2 will be on. So the current path will be from less Q1, phase 1, Q2, and then to minus. Then if you remove this excitation, this phase minus and plus polarity changes. So through D1 capacitor and D2 to phase winding. That's why the energy is used for charging the capacitor. Then closed loop control. Closed loop control will go for slewing. I had already told you, no, slewing. That is high speed operation. For high speed operation, we should not lose the synchronism. So we will go for the closed loop control. So this closed loop control has a feedback. It gives the digital information on the position, okay, to the logic sequencer. And next important question is static characteristics and dynamic characteristics. The static characteristics have two curves, that is torque angle curve and torque current curve. First one shows the torque angle curve. Okay, so here you have two definitions, return torque and holding torque. Please refer in a book. First one is motor torque. Okay, so when your electrical degree increases, the torque also increases. Okay, so you'll get the maximum in motor torque at electrical degree 90. Okay, so when you reach 180 degree, the torque becomes 0. Again, it becomes negative and reaches 0 at 360 degree. Next, this is the torque and current curve. So torque current curve, torque is directly proportional to current. Okay, so up to the rated value, it increases. When you increase the current, the torque also increases. So above the rated value, the torque becomes constant. Okay, it reaches the saturation position. Okay, so the first at the time of zero condition, that is when I is equal to 0, there will be some torque in the rotor. So that is due to residual magnetism. That is the holding characteristics of the magnetic property of the magnet. So if you use a permanent magnet, this residual magnetism is very large. So you'll get TD at the initial condition as a larger magnitude. Okay, if you use a ferromagnet, this will be of minor value. Okay, this TH represents the holding torque. And next comes the dynamic characteristics. Dynamic characteristics, that is the response region, that is from Fs ranges when it is less than FPI. This region is an operating region or response region. Okay, we are advised to operate our motor only in this response region. Above that region, it will be of slewing range. That is high speed operation mode curve is represented here, and this region is called slewing range. Okay, so it has two curves, pull in curve and pull out curve. Pull in curve means it is start stop curve. That is our operating curve. Pull out curve is slewing curve. That is high speed curve. Okay, so here you may have come across the synchronism. Okay, so what is the synchronism means? It is the number of pulses given to the stepper motor controller and the number of steps through which the motor actually moves. These two has to be linked, or these two has to be synchronized. Okay, so that is called synchronism. And what is the slewing range means? It is the range of the stepping rate at which the stepper motor can run in slewing mode without losing the synchronism. Okay, that slewing range, it expands to FPI to FP naught. Okay, that is slewing range. Then you will have a pull-in curve and pull-out curve in your textbook. Please refer, and you have to write all the definitions and curves for this question. Okay. Next comes to the application. It has numerous applications in many areas, and some of the important applications are given here. Robotics and instrumentation applications such as quartz watch and digital XY plotter, office instruments such as printer, typewriter, and you will have two more question, that is where will you use micro stepping application. That is application of micro stepping means you have to write photo typesetting and printing. In these application you are using micro stepping operation, VR stepper motor. Okay, and please refer the applications. That's all about unit 1, and you will have a torque derivation in this unit. That is also very important question, torque prediction derivation. And in closed loop control you will have microprocessor controller. So that is that figure is given in your book. You can easily understand by seeing that figure. So refer that also, and you have to study the driver circuit and suppression circuit. That is also one of the important questions and frequently asked questions in your Anna University examination. Okay, thank you.